the Who Would It? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all, ding, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I am kicking. I highly appreciate all your support, man. Thank you guys so much. So Diddy do it, or Diddy Diddley, right? The diddler. It's over, right? And this ain't no laughing matter, man. These are some serious fucking charges, right? The indictment was unsealed that we knew was coming. So Diddy's done. He's done Diddy, right? It's over. You know, when the feds come knocking at your door, they got you. When they unseal indictments, they got you. Will he be doing all day? Probably so. You know, it's a situation where he's going to be broke, desperate, and desolate, right? Hey, you made your bed. Now you got to get fucked in it. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to Diddy. It's a situation now where he's fighting for his life. Okay? But what about all the victims, all the lives? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Now, everyone's going to feel brave because he's out of the way. Everyone's going to start coming from every direction. And we all know he just lost a $100 million lawsuit the other day to a man he allegedly raped, right? And that's all bad. It's all bad, right? That's the first domino to fall. He's going to get sued by every victim that he ever victimized or allegedly victimized. We're just going to keep it like that for right now, right? But at the end of the day, I think we all know pretty much what this guy was into. I mean, he was arrested or he self-surrendered. But when they raided his house, they found 1,000 bottles of lube. 1,000, a whole rack of lube. This guy was into some pretty wild stuff, allegedly, right? So, I have a question for Mr. Wes Watson. My life's a movie. See? We told you. How do you feel now, Mr. Wes Watson? You was out there eating crumpets and drinking fucking lattes with Mr. P. Diddy. Out there all happy to be around him. Mr. Big Time Convict Shot Caller. Fucking will kill you on the yard. This, and that. Was having people choked out on the yard. Beating people up on the yard. Yet he was in there with some skin-tight ass white, them same skin-tight white pants that are now turning beige, with P. Diddy at a donut shop when he knew, just like we all knew, that this guy was being investigated for multiple charges of trafficking, sex trafficking, and all these different things that they put on him. He knew he was a sick motherfucker when he was hanging out with them. Now, of course, if I would have seen Diddy at a donut shop, I would have probably just not confronted him because I don't want to get sued or caught up. I would have just bounced, right? Or if I was really some hardcore four-finger Wes gangster like he says he was, right? Then he could have approached him on some real G shit and did something to him. But he didn't do that. Instead, he took pictures with them, showed him his Instagram, got his autograph, a pat on the ass, and invited to a P. Diddy party. That's how it went down, and not necessarily in that order. I think the pat on the ass came first. But I'll say this, man. This just goes to show you, you can't be judgmental, I guess. I guess you can't judge a person when it's an alleged crime. But I think there comes a time and place when we have to understand that we need to stay away from certain situations. Okay? Wes Watson definitely didn't because he's a clout-chasing idiot. Right? All that hardcore spitting gangster shit that he talked about, programming us wood brother on the yard. He was none of that. He was a dude that worked out, that got out, that hit trend and kept doing his thing. He stumbled upon YouTube and that's just that. And he finagled a whole bunch of people out of their bread for a fucking course where he calls you and tells you, get up, asshole, and work. And that's it. Anyone could do that. Call me. Give me 20,000. I'll motivate you every day. But here's the situation right here. P. Diddy, this is no laughing matter or nothing to take lightly. You know, is he going to do a very long time? Absolutely. Will he be convicted ultimately? I believe so. I believe that there's going to be a lot of testimony. I believe there's going to be a lot of things that we haven't even heard about yet that's going to come out. And this was a very sick individual. If he's done everything that this unsealed indictment says that he's done, then he's very sick. Okay? It's not every day they go after someone that's a billionaire that has this much money and this much power within the industry. They dot their I's and cross their T's, most definitely, right? So I think Diddy's done. And I know people are saying, well, he's a billionaire. He's going to go into prison. They're going to send him to a low-level prison. He's going to have it his way. Absolutely not. You see what happened to R. Kelly the whole time he's been in there, man. His mind was telling him no, but his body was telling everyone yeah, right? When you go in there on a sex case, when you go in there and you were beating up on women or men or taking advantage of people with less than because you were a have and they were have-nots, well, you're not going to have nothing. I truly and honestly believe P. Diddy will be broke in the next few years. Not only will his legal team drain him as much as they can, but everybody and anybody's mother is going to sue this guy and get him for everything that he's got. All that money and all that experience, I hope to him was truly worth it, because now he's going into a place where sex offenders are bottom feeders. And no, he's not going to go to one of these white collar prisons because he doesn't have white collar crimes. He has hardcore sex cases, so he's going to be placed probably in a U.S. penitentiary where there is no protective custody. They aren't going to look out for him. He's not going to have the money to facilitate and buy protection. The brothers are not going to look at him and help him out just because he's Diddy and he's black. Hey, the more money you come across, the more problems you see. And this is definitely a situation where this man had more money than everyone else. And instead of utilizing it for good things and helping people and putting people on, he definitely bled every person that he was around. And look, they're not even talking about the Tupac situation and how he's been alleged to been involved in that. They're not even talking about the deaths of his wife, Heavy D, Andre Harrell, Craig Mack. Anyone that was around Diddy met their demise. Maybe it was just bad energy. Maybe it was just a coincidence. But I believe all these things are going to start to be looked into. This was a very sick, depraved individual, P. Diddy, right? Someone who felt he had so much power, he put himself on a plateau with people like Michael Jackson and Prince and thought he was an international superstar, when really he was just a producer who stole beats from the old school, remixed them a little bit, and had good talent on there. That's it. You know, people like Biggie, dead. You know, people like his wife, who was actually a good person in the community giving back, gone. You know, this guy had these sick, depraved parties, and so many people have come out and said, you know, or when they choose to speak on it, they got sick all of a sudden, had strokes. You know, we still don't know what the fuck is going on with what's his name? The one that got all sick and shit, you know, Jamie Foxx. You know, it's funny how he started to talk about the P. Diddy parties and, you know, something happened to him. They're still not speaking on that situation. I believe all these things are a culmination of a sick, depraved mind. You know, a lot of these Hollywood elites, they have so much money and so much power, they don't know what to do with it. So they start getting from that realm of good into that realm of sick. They pass the bad and just go straight to the sick. Now, one thing I could tell you about the feds, and I've never done Fed time, but I can tell you I've had homeboys that have done Fed time, and they'll tell you straight up, there is no gimmies there. There is no, hey, we're just going to look at you. I mean, look at what happened to C-Mac. They got him, snatched him, 33 months. He got very lucky. But his charges were nowhere near the realm of what P. Diddy's got going on. This man was charged with a fucking gun that didn't even work and still got stretched out 33 months. Yes, he has a criminal record. Yes, he's considered an active gang member. Yes, all these things came into play. And still, he wasn't able to beat a bogus gun charge. Diddy has sex trafficking. All these different alleged charges when this indictment was unsealed. And I believe there's going to be another indictment unsealed. You know, just because he's got one, this was the one to criminally charge him. There's going to be a lot more because there's going to be a lot more people now feeling brave. This is what always happens. They're going to be coming and they're going to be telling their stories. Who's there to dispute their story to say it is true or it isn't true? Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of people seeing a money grab here and seeing opportunity. There's always opportunists. People that are going to jump in and say, hey, guess what, man? He grabbed my butt cheek, right? I need at least 40, 50 mil to get my mind right, right? But it's not a laughing matter because what if he did? What if that person is emotionally damaged? What about all the victims and all these women? I mean, obviously he was a woman beater. No one can deny that. Okay, whether he's charged with that specific incident or not, I'm sure that will come up in trial. That's not going to make Diddy look good. Now, I seen an interview that his lawyer did, and of course he hired one of the best attorneys in the country. And this lawyer was saying because Diddy self-surrendered. See, Diddy's been in New York City for 2 weeks. Him and his lawyer, according to their game plan, went to New York because they knew this indictment was coming anytime. So that way he could self-surrender. That way, when they went to the hearing that they're going to have, they could present to the judge that he's not a flight risk, that he's self-surrendered, that he's going to conform to everything that this trial has to offer. And the judge could do two different things. The judge could either say, okay, he did do that. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We're going to put an ankle monitor on him, keep him in one of his mansions, so that way he can continue to make money while going through these cases. Or they'll do what I most likely think is going to happen and keep his ass locked up. Why, I tell you? Because of this. Because he owns private jets, because he has access at a lot of money, because he could easily go to one of these countries, fly into one of these countries undercover late night that has no extradition. And once he's there, there's nothing the United States can do about it. He is not fighting the state of New York. He's not fighting California or Florida. He's fighting the United States government, and you're not going to win against the United States government. Okay, when someone has that much money, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that play the race card on this. Well, he's a black billionaire, man, so they're focusing on him. Harvey Weinstein wasn't. Epstein wasn't black either, right? When they want you and they want to get you and you've done the crime, nobody, no race, no creed, no color, no none of that, man, should be in this man's defense if he really did that. Now, I understand he's innocent until proven guilty. God, man, is that how it really works? Because the way it looks, and the way I've always thought, is you're guilty till proven innocent, right? You have to prove your innocence amongst your peers in court. But at the end of the day, I think we all are of an understanding that Diddy definitely has some shit going on. I mean, they got a whole catchphrase, no Diddy. I say it all the time. We can't even talk normal anymore without saying no Diddy, because nobody wants to seem to be in his class. This guy has a lot of mystery to him. This guy is not what you think he was. He wasn't just a music producer who was a genius talent and did a lot for everyone. This guy took more than he gave to people. And it seems like I said, anyone around him that was coming up went down. And he was the only one to prosper. Now, as far as these Diddy parties go, they're a running joke in Hollywood. You know, people talk about it now, but everyone wants to act like they never went. They've seen a lot of sick things there. We're talking about the 1,000 bottle of lube man. Okay? We're talking about a man where the joke is, hey, I'm going to take my chick over there to the Diddy party. Dudes are like, oh, no, you better not take her. No, you can take her. He don't want her. He wants you. Right? Now, if P. Diddy is a homosexual, if he's gay, that's his prerogative. That's his thing. You can't be mad at him for liking who he likes and doing what he does. But when you're doing it by force, when you're cornering people, when you got Justin Bieber in the corner yelling, baby, baby, oh, right? When you got Usher letting it burn, okay? When you got Odell Beckham turned out, dispense Odell, I'm just keeping it real. When you're doing all these different things to these men, to these younger gentlemen, you're grooming them, you're bad, you're sick, okay? Man or woman, I'm not saying it's different either way. It's the same damn thing. This man was doing what he did. And now, like I said, he's going to make the bed and get fucked in it. Now he's going to have to go to prison. Now he's going to get a taste of his own medicine. I had to sneeze thinking about that, right? Now he's literally going to go into a place where no one cares how much money you have. No one gives a shit about how much music you made. No one's going to think about how you burnt mace. No one's going to think, well, everything bad that he's done or alleged to have done, if he gets convicted, that's it. Game over. And I know a lot of people say, well, nothing happened to R. Kelly. Shit. Ask his head that. Well, nothing happened to Bill Cosby. That was an older gentleman that was placed in a place, man, soft for his own safety and security. They're not going to do that for Diddy. Diddy's going to be made an example of. Okay, in the United States prison system, in the federal prison system, there is no protective custody. Okay, there is none of that. You are going to go to a yard and your charges are well known. Everyone's watching and everyone's waiting. There's people, hey, are they going to sell him up with R. Kelly? Is he going to be sold up? I don't know where or what prison he's going to go to. When you're convicted in the federal courts, man, they could send you wherever they want to send you. More than likely, they're going to send you somewhere far away from where your home is, so you have less access at your family and your funds. Will he have funds? Probably not. See, if Diddy was smart, which I know he lives that gangster lifestyle, a whole different type of lifestyle, right? I'm sure he buried money or put money in different accounts, and I'm sure he put it in his children's name. That would have probably been the smartest thing to do. Put it in his kid's name or into businesses and things. So that way when these people sue him, they don't have no access. This is what I have. You get what I got. And then, of course, he has means. Of course, his kids do have money. But think about the sick man and how it's going to affect his family when he's convicted of all these crimes. Think about the victims. See, everyone's talking about Diddy. Is he going to go here? Is he going to be safe? Who gives a fuck? Were those people safe when they went to his home? Were these people safe when they were trafficked to people? There's a sick thing going on in Hollywood. There's a sick thing going on in this world, man. And there's a lot of people that are participating. Okay? This is just the very first domino to fall. And this is a big domino. Yes, this is the 666. And I'm going to tell you why this is. You think Diddy's really not going to say anything? You think this man knows what time it is and knows that he's going to get locked up around a whole bunch of hardened criminals? Do you think he's not going to give up names? There's a whole bunch of people in Hollywood right now shaking in their calzones, soiled. There's a lot of people right now scared to death of what Diddy's going to say, and he's going to say everything. This is not a man that's going to bite his tongue so that way you can get by. The same guy that you seen hugging Justin Bieber, asking him if he had a wire on him, all scared, there was a reason for that. And I know a lot of people say, oh, no, he was just giving him a hug. Did you see Bieber's eyes? Do you honestly believe he didn't get Bieberized? Do you honestly believe that Diddy wasn't really checking to see if he had a wire? Come on now, man. Wes Watson, that's your homie. Your life is like a movie. Okay? And it made me sick to my stomach when I see Wes Watson all happy like a fucking a little schoolgirl. He was all happy like the first day of school when he was around P. Diddy. Okay? Instead of saying, look at this sick fucking depraved individual. Yes, I know Diddy's not guilty yet. He will be found guilty. I promise you that. Just like myself, Dub, several other content creators that have been to prison told you, it's only a matter of time. Once the feds come knocking at your door and they search, they're working on something. People were like, oh, well, they ain't got him yet. Well, they ain't got him yet. Well, guess what? They got him now. Will he ultimately be let out? Will he get some type of bail? I don't know. That's at the discretion of the judge. Like I said, it could go two ways. The judge could say, hey, he's not a flight risk. We're going to keep him home. And then the judge might say, no, this guy has too much access to too much money and he owns a private plane. He knows the game. He can go anywhere. And best believe, I know if I was a criminal in that, I can't even think about that situation. But any type of situation where I knew I was facing life in prison, I'm gone. Right? I'm out of here. I don't know. You know, I hate to see anyone incarcerated, but if you're a sex offender and if you've battered women and if you've done this multiple times, you know, then you get every fucking thing you got. Everything he done to any one of those victims is going to happen to him and should. You know, I don't promote violence. I don't promote incarceration. I don't want to see any human being go through some of the situations I went through as far as laying on that bunk, starving, looking up at the cracks in the ceiling. I don't want to see anyone go through that. I did that enough for everyone, except for Diddy. This man definitely needs to do his time, just like SPM and just like all these other weirdos that get convicted of a crime. And there's going to be a lot of people, Diddy didn't do it. Diddy or didn't he? I don't know. Ask Justin Bieber. Can't ask Wes Watson because he's a big fan. He's always going to be in the positive when it comes to Diddy because their life is like a movie. Hey, look at my Instagram. Look, you see me stick my finger in my butt? I'm ready. That's Diddy. That's Watson, right? They're basically the same type of individual. But it's funny how a lot of people were bamboozled and fooled on social media to think that Wes Watson was just some big criminal that did 10 years, that was a drug dealer that ran with the gang inside the prison system and choked people out and shot called. When this motherfucker was in Oklahoma washing dishes in the fucking kitchen, working out from time to time, and doing not a damn thing he said he was doing. Yeah, he might have met some people, but have you ever once seen any of these convicts, these real convicts that he was around, ever come on YouTube and say, yeah, Wes was the man there. He was doing this and that. Not one. I've seen one guy, a Southsider, speak in behalf of Wes Watson and say, oh, he was a cool dude when he was there. He was selling a little bit of dope. Who doesn't on the yard? Everyone touches a paper or two. You know, I remember I used to get a paper or two just so I can get some new shoes. Hey, man, I got the frajos. You know, I'm the connect. Bam, trade, paper, boom, shoes, bam. I'm good. I wasn't no big-time drug dealer, but I just had to make some moves. I had to make some power moves wearing shower shoes. Anyways, back to Diddy. Shower shoe time. Shower shoe time, Diddy. And there's a bunch of brothers waiting in there and a bunch of everybody waiting in there to take your motherfucking cornbread. What's going to happen to Diddy? I will keep you guys updated, man. I guess we're going to have to see. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. They got him. Told you it was coming.